Hello peeps and hello peppers and welcome to Soul Sunday, or as I used to call that, the weekly recap. And this week was shaped by an autism conference where I had to basically script my speech. Like nobody said literally script my speech, but this is what arrived in my brain, and then I had to um get help to structure the speech, to shorten the speech, and to um I don't know, like let's say in my youth when I had to deliver a speech in front of the class, my family often practiced that with me and shortened that with me and sorry to say that yelled a lot in order to make me concentrate. So let's say I think today we all have a more adult version of communicating, which I'm glad about. So, and actually, we at the conference with a shortened speech, there developed some conversations about being overwhelmed with autism and also being overwhelmed with, or like finding tools for parenting with autism, like both if you have autism as a parent or if your child has autism. And I think it's okay to say that as long as I don't call people by name here. Because I think this conversation still has too little space in society. And yeah, now it's back to unscripted speeches. And if you've never been here, I don't have children, but I'm kind of in the process of reparenting my inner child. And I mean, it's not the point to say this person was bad or that person was good, but and of course it's exhausting to talk about that. People today have different tools than people had 20, 30 years ago. And for instance, 20, 30 years ago, the people had a different understanding of school and a different understanding of routines. Like, and I couldn't verbalize that I needed routines back in the day, but of course, the adults sort of needed to push me into school because there was no other choice. I mean, like one of my favorite movies, like from the early 2000s, still contains the sentence, "Sorry, Dad, there is another choice." Um, but actually, other choices have to be established, like by telling the world that some old structures are not all right, if that makes sense. And I hope it does. Um, like yesterday, I watched a YouTube video where someone who researches politics told the audience that a political party in Germany for the first time wanted to permit homeschooling, which I per se find really cool, and I think I would have benefited from homeschooling a lot as a kid, but and I like big butts and I can't deny. Um, in this case, and in this particular video that I watched yesterday, it was basically shown that um, this approach of homeschooling was informed by a certain like ideology, and as long as this gets ideological, as in actually let's say, endangering social participation and democratical participation, for a lack of better word, then I find that a really bad idea. Um, I know it's a very tricky topic, and I'm, like, as the Germans would say, walking on thin ice when I'm saying this. Like, I don't think all children need to go to kindergarten and to school, because, especially in the light of what we talked about with the autism this week, a lot of youngsters who I'm aware of, they don't deal well with, like, noises, hectical movements, strict time plans. So if there were a feasible option to, like, teach the children at home, um, I would totally welcome that. Uh, I don't see all parents do this. Um, let's say if that had been an option 35 years ago, I, like, even though I come from a family where several people have pedagogical jobs, I think my family would have needed to basically hire someone, um, because especially during a particular pandemic, I saw how much the school is actually like a space to keep the children occupied and socialized while the parents are working. Um, whether that brings the desired effect in every case, we just let that be for the moment. Um, and yeah, uh, I benefited so much from this conference, like, because of course there was a given time frame, and I liked the given time frame. But then, let's say we were largely able to sit with it when the technology didn't work, and we were clearly communicating about, like, as clearly as everyone could, like, because it was a small group and a hybrid conference. I assume that every participant was over 18. Um, and I assume that, like, every person had a basic um, adult manner of behaving. So we could actually sit with technical difficulties. We could actually sit with, let's say, if someone was feeling poorly or something, uh, and if someone had to leave the room and so on, we could sit well with it. And I think that is like something that I often miss in our society. Like, first we're talking about school. Um, I, sorry to say that, I regularly threw up at school, and there was nothing organic, biological, whatever, to be seen in my body that would have caused this. So, like, to this day, I am totally convinced this particular process was psychological, and it, of course, was not nice for people. Many people reacted well and helped me and cleaned this up as well as this was possible, but also it's like, okay, Frida's getting sick again, and okay, we have to, yeah, we have to make a big deal about it. Um, and at the time, actually, no one asked if I had a problem at school, because, like, you didn't have a problem at school, or at least this problem, if someone asked about it, was not solvable. So, now I have 5 more minutes to randomly talk. So, may I maybe use those 5 minutes to. Okay, let's be optimistic and create a society where we deal calmly with people's issues and where we actually deal with them. Um, and I also watched a video yesterday. That's what the algorithm recommended me after the politics video, and I thought that was interesting. Um, like a young man, probably born after the year 2000 for relevant context, he commented on a youth magazine from Germany that was really a thing from, I think, 1960 to the early 2000s. Um, it is my understanding from this video that this youth magazine feathered out um, after 2010 at least. Um, I don't know if you could still go to the store and buy it, but point made, I grew up with this. If you've never seen me, I was born in 1981, and I hit puberty in the 90s. So actually, like, one of my last acts of office in elementary school, which in Germany goes from like 6 to 10 years old, was to sing Wind of Change. That was, of course, or to dance to Wind of Change. Uh, when that came out, like 1991 something, because yeah, because the Iron Curtain had fallen and we were all full of hope, and like even children anticipated that. But like a couple of years later, like 1992, 3, something, of course, we had to be like in sort of middle school, and there you had to be sort of a teenager, and the teenagers created their own norms, and this youth magazine help them create it to create their own norms. Um, by actually, as this more recent video by the younger man reflects, there was so much subtle pressure on us. Like, of course, girls, you shouldn't use makeup because even your bio teacher said that. Like, I don't know, our bodies look like a bunch of baboon bums, and that makes the guys get the hoods for us. Okay, so okay. Anyway, this youth magazine actually supported such primal instincts by making the girls wear makeup and by animating the girls to do gymnastics so the legs look better and whatnot. And I already knew from the start that I couldn't fit into there. And, like, of course, my friends always brought this magazine to school, and it talked about a lot of taboo themes. Um, I find it good that there was a place to talk about taboo themes and go ha 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 and he he he. But actually, the young man found someone on the internet who had like old issues of this magazine, and like, I was so shocked because like in the 70s, the girls wrote to this psychologist team in the taboo corner and said they were like harassed at a Tivoli a fairground. Um, and actually, okay, then seriously, this psychologist or social worker team told them that for starters, only your parents can file a report at the police, and B, it's like your own problem, and you're to blame yourself when the guys talk to you in decent ways. And I think, hello, I mean, yeah. Uh, so I really, actually, when I saw these articles from the 70s, I was so shocked. And then I actually was glad that in the 90s, this psychologist team there told people, yeah, go to the police, go to a like a counseling unit. We have addresses here. Um, stand up for your own integrity. So I think between the 70s and the 90s, there was a huge development jump. And let's say these developments don't just fall from the sky. So I think we need conferences like what I mentioned at the start, where we are kind of conscious about other people's needs without losing our own. And um, yeah, let's talk about the taboos, and let's take it seriously when someone talks to us about the taboos. Um, because much of today's politics in many countries consists of people being frustrated because nobody listens to them. So maybe we can build an environment where we just listen to each other. And I wish you a beautiful Sunday where you can listen to each other. Bye bye.